a sound test, or are we?
No, we're going.
No, this is our pilot.
This is our pilot.
Sonic Adventure is a perfect analogy for our generation.
I agree wholeheartedly.
All right, let me walk through this because this is still a forming thought. All right, so you've got the one friend that looks like they've got their acts together entirely, right? Mm-hmm. And then you got the one friend that's definitely copying that friend as hard as they can, mm-hmm. even though they're not even sort of getting the same
Their
result.
identity is just the other friend's identity.
Right, because if the other friend's succeeding and they copy that, they can...
Then they're succeeding.
Perfect, easy.
Mm-hmm.
You got the one friend who's super dedicated to their job, and it may be their whole life, but they kind of vibe with it. And then there's a big man who's making it way harder than it needs to be for them for selfish reasons.
Yeah, that checks out.
Insinuating that Dr. Eggman is the stand-in for, air quotes, the man in whatever form that takes.
I mean, I have some problems with that one, but continue.
Oh. Well, and then you've got, I don't want to say girl. I don't want to make the joke that personality is girl.
You've got someone who dedicates their life to, like, their childhood love interest, but then, like, very rapidly and through great personal turmoil overcomes that and kind of develops their own personality.
Sure, and I think more so you have the friend whose entire life's purpose is about pouring their affection onto others, because she's not just pining after Sonic, she's also taking care of the bird.
Yeah, she learns more responsibility and compassion for not just the one person that she wants to date, but like a little bird that really can't reciprocate anything. So that's pretty good. And
then your last two categories are horrific existential crisis and completely detached.
Exactly.
So I didn't name drop. I don't know why I didn't do that, but hopefully that all came clear, and you know exactly who everybody is in this analogy.
I think everybody who listens to this they probably have a Big the Cat in their life.
God.
It's likely that they have a Gamma in their life, but if they do, if you're listening to this and you have a Gamma in your life, reach out. They might need your help.
I think another facet of Gamma's, I pronounce it Gamma, but I'm gonna accidentally copy you, Gamma.
Oh, no.
That's why my first time saying it was a horrible hybrid of the two. But I think the other thing to note about Gamma's story is that the analogy there is, of course, existential crisis, mm-hmm. but then you also have the and not in the Confederacy way, but a sort of reject modernity, embrace
primate,
embrace monkey, right?
Embrace birdie.
Yeah, embrace Flicky.
Oh my gosh.
Reject modernity, embrace Flicky. Because we do have a growing mindset in our generation that, like, hey, everything is way too far gone and we should wipe the slate wipe the slate clean and start over. And I think Gamma represents that kind of philosophy as well. Dr. Eggman's technological progressions are incredible, but look at the damage they're doing psychologically.
This is the wrong room.
Yes. No.
You ever just leave your house and say, this is the wrong room, or you open whatever social media app you use and you say, this is the wrong app?
You watch your brother getting beaten by his parents and by your parents, and you go,
this is the wrong room.
That is one of the most powerful lines in all of Sonic Adventure.
I would agree with that.
I think most of Gamma's lines are super powerful lines.
Because Tikal has a lot of lines that don't really matter. And I would say that she's like the most important character because she sets up everything, but then she doesn't say a whole lot of interest.
Her lines are mostly like fluff and exposition dump because you don't need her to verbally explain everything that's going on to understand the situation.
Yeah.
The storytelling in that game, I mean, Sonic Adventure could have been like Sonic 3 and not had voice acting, and its story, the visuals that they use in that story would have still worked. I mean, even Gamma, as great as Gamma's...
Yeah, when he looks down at his hand after having saved all of his brothers... Saved is a good word to put.
Well, he literally uses the word rescue.
Save, but if there was no dialogue, he wouldn't have said anything. Yeah. So after you plays him and you kill all his brothers, and then he looks down at his own hand the player realizes, oh my god, he's gonna shoot himself.
I can't help but wonder if part of the game's story was done without voice acting in mind, because it was their first foray into voice acting in a Sonic game.
I do think that it's a very real possibility, because they were making this game for years and years, because Sonic Extreme was canceled.
Right.
So they're like, okay, well, we're not making Sonic Extreme, and we're already making the Dreamcast, so let's just start making the Sonic game for the Dreamcast. And it took them 3.5 to 4 years.
It still blows my mind. I get chills watching that intro to this day, because that is the game that preceded it was Sonic 3.
Yeah. That game, that game's opening is probably one of the best video game openings of all time.
Even if it's really hard to take some of it seriously, like Tails dramatically flying through the building, or the cut pan down to Amy. It's like, I could show this video to people and it would be intense, but those two moments would still make me feel like.
But then you have it contrast with Eggman standing on the huge ass fucking egg carrier. You have Knuckles gliding all the way off of fucking Angel Island, and you have Gamma recently shooting something.
The fact that they even have the effort put into the video, the fact that there's smoke billowing out of the barrel is like, god damn.
He doesn't even fire bullets, he shoots lasers.
Right.
But it looks cool if there's smoke coming out of the barrel.
It dunks on Mario 64 harder than any Sonic thing has dunked on any Mario thing in the history of ever.
Just has Mario's face, and you move it around and then you hit start.
It's very cute.
And the opening cutscene is a still image of Peach and a note.
Mind you, for the breakout into 3D platforming, Mario 64 is a landmark and shouldn't be
discounted.
At all. But Sega brought a gun to the knife fight for sure.
Sega also did have 3 years, because 64 was 96 and the Dreamcast was 99, so that's a little bit of something. But Sega was like, okay, they're trying to reclaim the market share, because for the first time in history they ever had more market share than Nintendo for a teensy bit. They had a taste of that golden nectar of more people liking their game than Yahoo. So they tried to grab it back, and I think they would have if things were a little better for them.
I just got that was Mario sound effect and not you dunking on Yahoo the search engine.
I thought you were going to say Yahoo the drink.
Oh my, that's Yoo-hoo.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Gamma, Yahoo, Yoo-hoo.
We're gonna need a common nomen. We're gonna need a language guide for this.
We're gonna need a Scrabble book.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. All right.
So passing the ball. Where does this go now?
Well, where this goes now is that I guess we actually introduce what we're doing.
God, right.
That was the cold open. Thank you, everybody, for participating.
Clap track.
Again, if you have a Gamma in your life, please reach out to them. They may need your help in defeating their brothers. My name is Tony.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is It's Still Cool, a podcast which is just our stream of consciousness about stuff that we like. That's all you're getting. I don't need to explain myself any further.
We figure you'll roll with it. We cold opened a big Sonic Adventure thing, and that's a great example of what you can come to expect coming from the two of us, because Sonic Adventure, as I mentioned, there are lots of elements of it that shouldn't be taken seriously. There's a lot of tonal dissonance. There's a lot of harsh contrast between what is happening and how you're supposed to feel about it, but it'll always be cool.
It'll always be cool. Like Red Mountain, which will always be cool, but has an incredibly large amount of tonal dissonance, because you're running through a volcano which has prison cells in it, and then at the end you kill your brother. But it's got a cool, funky soundtrack, and you shoot robots, and it's fun.
Both of the Red Mountain tracks are absolutely killer, and I'm so stoked that three of the characters go there?
Yeah, 3 of the characters go there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of overlap, but going to Red Mountain 3 times is not a drag.
No, it's not a drag. What is a drag?
Fighting Chaos 4 times.
Fighting Chaos 4 times is a drag. Oh, God, I can't believe you fight him 4 times.
Is it? No.
I think it's 3.
It's 3 times.
But it's still a drag because he takes 5 hits each time.
And there's a lot of doing nothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of downtime.
There's a lot of sitting on your butt.
He hides under the water, quote unquote. I'm doing air quotations.
Under the Jello.
Yeah, the Jello, because she could just stand in it.
Yeah.
There's no real threat.
It was So I think Chaos Force Fight really shows off, like, so to speak, that where Sega's head was underwater.
Yeah.
The whole point of creating Chaos as a villain was to show off how realistically they could render water.
Yeah.
And then the one time you have to interact with realistic water, they're like, oh no, oh god, oh god.
Looking back at it, I think the Chaos 4 fight was rushed. Because he's not as big as he looks in the cutscene. It not even in a place that it kind of exists in the adventure field.
Well, it does. It's just not filled with water when you go there.
Yeah, but
because that
I guess Chaos fills it and then fills it with lily pads, and then the lily pads disappear, and also the water. Like, and there's
maybe that's why he looks smaller.
Yeah,
he filled that,
or it was rushed and maybe placed out of place because we know that Sonic 3 ended up being rushed, and Flying Battery was supposed to be after Hydrocity or something like that. Like, things happen at Sega. They rush things way too often.
And they're still doing it. Well,
Yay!
I mean, did Forces get rushed, or was Forces just them playing way too safe?
Forces was them trying to appeal to everyone under the sun and getting absolutely no one.
Okay.
Except for Sleeves. Because he likes Infinite.
We got a couple of friends who like parts of that game. There's a friend of mine with kids, and he's like, actually, Sonic Forces is great because it's my 3-year-old son's first Sonic game, and it's perfect for him.
Oh no! There are other perfect Sonic games for a 3-year-old. I can speak from experience.
Oh.
Sonic 2 is also a perfect game for a 3-year-old.
Actually, I do have a friend who claims that he beat Sonic 1, 2, and 3 when he was like 2 or 3 years old, and it really pissed his dad off.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I can't imagine a child being Sonic 1 though, because that game's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Labyrinth Zone is like an affront to game design.
It's an affront to Sonic design, but like it was the first game, so.
And then they made another Labyrinth Zone in the same game. They're like, hey, what do we do for the last level? Just do the water one again.
I have beaten Sonic 1, but it's one of those games that I didn't actually grow up with the Sonic games. My first game was Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube, but when I've replayed Sonic 1 on like Mega Collection or whatever, I straight up don't remember what most of the stages are.
Oh yeah. See, that's what's cool is because like I'm the opposite. Like I grew up with the Genesis ones, so like I'm very familiar. Like I can do most of those levels like the back of my hand, except for Sonic 1.
Oh.
Like I get to Spring Yard and I'm lost. I'm like, I don't. Where am I?
Spring Yard. What is even the song for Spring Yard?
I tested it earlier. It doesn't actually pick it up that bad.
Okay, so
I apologize, listeners. I won't do that again.
We can drum on the table. It's okay.
A little bit.
Okay, gotcha.
They can enjoy a little bit.
Okay.
We get a little bit of drumming as a treat.
Yeah, gotcha. A little bit of Ryan Drummond as a treat. Is he the one? Okay. So I checked, and since the last time I checked, literally months ago, there isn't a new episode, but Tails' current voice actress is doing like a Sonic radio drama?
Yes.
And she got actually Eggman and Sonic's voice actors, and I think it's one of the old Sonic voice actors, not the current one.
Roger Craig Smith?
I don't know, because there's 3 of them, and I always get them mixed up.
So Roger Craig Smith is the Adventure era to...
But that's not going to help me, because I straight up just don't remember who it is.
Oh, okay.
But they're 2 episodes in, and there's been no progress on it. I don't know if the project has stopped because they're busy.
Sega might have asked them to stop for now.
Maybe.
Because they might have gotten busy with a Sega thing.
Yeah.
They also have been doing live streams as the characters recently, so maybe Sega pulled them to do that.
Oh, okay. Because it seemed...
It's Sega's 60th birthday. That dates this episode, but whatever.
It's okay.
Yeah. So they're pulling them to do live stream stuff. A couple of years ago, they were also doing like Twitter stuff where like they were taking questions and then Shadow and Sonic and Eggman would answer questions in character.
Okay.
It was pretty funny. I think someone asked Shadow what kind of cereal he liked, and he's like, I don't know, darkness.
Okay.
Shadow's current voice actor isn't as good.
No.
I don't really like it that much.
So I actually have run into this problem a couple of times in my panels at conventions whenever we try to do in character stuff. And you see this in all in character panels at comic conventions where somebody doesn't have a grasp on the character, they just have a grasp on the character's jokes. So like we were doing like a Hollywood Squares panel, and it was really bad. But one of our squares was Cynthia.
Okay.
And all of her answers were, I don't know, Garchomp, lol.
That's not Cynthia.
That's not Cynthia's right,
Yeah.
but it's just a thing about Cynthia.
Like, Cynthia's actually, like, I know that Cynthia's, like, haha, titty champion, I have Garchomp and funny music, but, like, Cynthia's also, like, kind of an eccentric weirdo, and that's why I like her. Because she, like...
Her house is apparently canonically a mess.
Her house is a mess. She likes exploring ruins for no reason.
She doesn't dress for it.
She sees a horde of Psyduck that are very obviously in pain, and she's like, hey, come back later. She's like, I could do something about this right now. I'm literally the champion and have all the resources available to me in the world. But no, I'll just wait here. You go.
Well, she grew up with her grandparents in a crater with, like, ancient rune
in depictions
of gods all over it. So, like, she's probably... Yeah.
She's like a weirdo.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's super confident, but she's also probably, like... If it weren't for her fame, she'd be so societally disconnected. She's like Knuckles.
Yeah. Oh, God. Cynthia is the Knuckles of Pokemon.
Somebody draw Cynthia the Echidna, please.
Please. Oh my God. Please don't make it Julie Sue. Don't do that.
It's just gonna be Julie Sue
Damn
blonde.
It. See.
Oh, we're swearing on the podcast. Cool.
PG-13, baby. Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Damn, we've been detected.
Since Gen 3, or I guess between Gen 3 and Gen 6, the champions were fucking weirdos, and I love it. Like, Steven Stone is a weirdo, who's the child of a rich corporation family, who's like, son, what do you want to do? I want to look at rocks. Okay, son, go look at rocks.
Every time you find him, he's just staring at a stone wall like, this is so fascinating.
You want to see my Metagross?
Yeah, right. I love rocks. Also, my partner is 4 supercomputers in a tank.
I've also got Metal Bird.
Yeah. Steven, and I love how Steven only got weirder with his recontextualization in the remakes.
Yeah, he just keeps getting weirder. And so then Wallace, also a weirdo.
Oh, yeah. Wallace is like the Tim Curry of Pokemon.
Yeah. I'm going to the one place where capitalism hasn't touched, the Pokemon League. And so we've already covered Cynthia as a weirdo. Alder is a huge weirdo.
But Alder is such a... Alder, I don't want to use the term, like, meta character, but he's very self-aware, because he's like, I want to look as... I guess he's not self-aware, but he's written in a self-aware way where he's like, I want to look as cool as I can to be a cool role model for the kids, because he's not actually helpful, he just looks cool, and that's all he leans on.
Not only does he, like, look cool, but isn't actually helpful, he's very horrible at talking to people.
Yeah.
Everyone he talks to doesn't like him. Alder banks entirely on jumping off of a cliff for a first impression, and then everything else flops from there. Charon speaks to him once, and Charon's like, I hate Alder.
Yeah, Charon's like, oh, I want to meet Alder because he's the champion and he's so cool.
And Charon meets him once, and he's like, I hate Alder.
Yeah, God.
All my homies hate Alder.
Yeah. Black and White was...
And then Iris, I guess Iris isn't really a weirdo as much as a child, which is great. Yeah. Like, there's like, I guess Iris is the champion now.
Iris, you're the champion. What do you want to look like? A princess. And Drayden's like, she could be a princess if she wants to. God, what? Oh no.
And then Diantha is like an adult person. Like Diantha is just a normal woman in Pokemon world.
Right, she's just a normal movie star in France.
That she's okay. I like that she is like actually an adult in a world of like childlike adults.
Sure.
Because like Sycamore is an over the top child man, and then Lysander is an over the top child man but having a tantrum, and then they're ex lovers, but that's a whole thing.
Oh.
And then Diantha is like, grow the fuck up. You're both 50. Like, I'm 50, I know my golden years behind me, but I'm still acting and the champion. You two can get over your fucking shit.
I guess I don't respect Diantha enough. She just... I guess I got so high on Cynthia and Alder that like Diantha came and I was like, she's kind of boring, but I guess that's fair.
Yeah, like
She maintains a job. She has a strong sense of like what she's about. She's like, hey, I'm over the hill. You in the hat, you will beat me. It's going to happen.
yeah, like I could tell by your heroic aura that you're the hero of the story and you're gonna beat me. So just I'm ready. Just come here whenever.
You got to prove yourself. It's not gonna be like handed to you, but you know.
It's gonna happen. Someone's gonna give you a Mega Lucario. Like, don't worry about it.
And then half of my Pokemon will be weak to it.
I mean, you win some, you lose some.
No, she loses every time. I
She
think
does
that's the
lose
only. It's
every
like
time.
one of the only champions I never had any trouble with.
No, because her team isn't very complicated.
X
And
Y is
also
also
the
just
rest
bad.
of the Elite Four only have 4 Pokemon, even in the rematch.
Oh yeah. Though that Elite Four, I gotta say, I think they're super underrated.
They are.
The Kalos Elite Four are good.
We have Dragon Otta Grandma.
Ugh.
We have...
I see way more fan art of her than I thought I would.
because she's great. We have Seybold, the guy from Final Fantasy 14 or 15.
He's just a chef, and he's just a super snobby. Like they were like, okay, we can't just dunk on the snobby French chef archetype, so we'll sneak him in
At
to
the
the
Elite
Elite
Four.
Four at the end of the game.
We have Literal Knight.
Literal Knight who leads with a set of keys.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to lose his keys. And we have a villain.
Yeah. The first time the Elite Four was canonically villainous in a game, not to be confused with the manga where they were all villains for the first 2 generations.
Yes. God, Will looks like a villain. Will
Yeah.
should have been a villain.
God.
But no, he just has a sawtooth that knows everyone's deepest desires.
I remember Will making a very poor impression when I fought him because there wasn't anything to him.
No. They fixed it a little bit in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. A little bit.
My one deficiency in main series Pokemon, I've never played
Oh
the
my
Gen 2
goodness.
remakes.
We gotta get you in there.
I think part of my problem was that Black and White were announced so soon afterwards.
They were. It was like less than 6 months.
And I was still in high school,
mhm.
and so I was not about to drop $60 on games that close in succession.
Like I think it was like October when Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, and then like April of the next year was like, hey, Zekrom and Reshiram, Black and White,
Yeah,
new games.
it was a lot all at once.
It was a lot.
And then
But
I never wound up going back and picking them up because the thing that, like, again, I was young, and the thing that I had my heart set on was Sevi Islands,
Yeah,
which would have been cool.
It would have been cool.
I get that it would have been excessive.
I want to go to Four Island again. I miss Four Island and I miss Seven Island and the Resort Gorgeous. I miss Resort Gorgeous. I spent so much time there.
It's a neat. I mean, it's just the fact that they put that much effort in to the red and green to fire red and leaf green. They were like, here, we're gonna give you an extra treat, a whole post-end story that's woven into the main story a bit, and it's island hopping adventures.
Mhm.
It's a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot. Like, they could have just banked on the nostalgia of Red and Blue.
Yeah, like they
could
did.
have literally just been like, here's Red and Blue again. We're not adding anything except updated graphics.
We got that too.
Yeah, we did get that.
Pokemon Let's Go didn't have the Sevi
They
Islands
even-
either.
They even have a little bit more in Let's Go, at least.
Oh, they do?
They have a little bit. They have Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That's right.
Because Let's Go is technically Red and Blue 1.5. Like, if you've
Right.
seen Lion King 1.5, like, that's Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
What a reference.
Like, it kind of happens a little bit after. It's in this weird limbo area.
Yeah, I guess so, because
Because Red is there. He
Right.
won. Like, you're just kind of going after him. But also Team Rocket is still happening. It's weird. Like, it's a weird time anomaly. Anyway, Heart Gold and Soul Silver don't have the City Islands, but they're still worth playing.
I know. I think I started one once on an R4, and it just kept freezing.
Oh, oof. The perils.
And then, of course, there was that period of time where those games were ludicrously expensive.
And they still are.
And they still are. Okay. I haven't checked recently.
They're very expensive.
Yeah, so they've always kind of just been the inaccessible.
So in that game, they don't really. Will doesn't get more, but he
Oh,
looks
right,
better.
that's what we're talking about.
But he looks better, and that's all you can really do for him.
That's fair. Because even Karen, who got, the Elite Four never gets any development, but Karen has that quote that everybody quotes. Karen became the patron saint of playing it your way.
Yeah, and also she was the first R-Type user.
True.
So that also stands out for a lot of people.
Will was just less cool Sabrina.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm a psychic too. I don't have any standout traits other than also being a psychic.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Like, kind of like Lucian. Lucian's kind of like...
Who the heck is... Oh my god, Lucian.
Lucian. Remember?
Generation 4 Elite
Generation
Four.
4 with the Bug Twink.
The Bug Twink whose signature Pokemon is Dark Poison.
But we have Bug Twink, Agatha's sister.
Right, totally.
Volkner's boyfriend.
Yeah!
And Lucian.
Can I go on a quick, appreciation tangent about how gay Sinnoh was?
Yeah, it was very gay.
It was so good, too. Because Pokemon, the games, have never written romance, and they've always had, buddy characters, sort of. I mean, I guess not really in Gen 1. Everybody kind of hates everybody in Gen 1.
Yeah, your rival's an asshole.
And
so
in Gen 2, your rival's an asshole. And then in Gen 3...
But he softens up.
He does. He evolves his Crobat.
He does evolve his Crobat. You help him.
Yeah. But... yeah, and then Gen 3, it's okay, lighter tone, people here are friendly, Hoenn's actually friendly, and then Generation 4 is dude, bro, I love you so much, I love you too, bro. Love me, bro? Yeah, bro.
Yeah. My bro, my bro, he's really depressed, and I don't know what to do. Could you battle him?
Listen, I need you to cheer up my boyfriend.
Yeah, you have this aura around you, kind of like the hero or something. Please cheer up my boyfriend. and
then you get the double battle with them in Platinum, and they're just this is the happiest Volkner has been in his whole life, and he's just air quotes chilling with his bro.
Yeah.
But then you've got Candace and Maylene. Maylene who walks barefoot through the snow to visit Candace.
Yeah.
And then if you go to the villa and you have them over, they have some really cute lines together.
It's
so God.
Good. There's even some stuff after the galactic stuff in Platinum where Mars and Jupiter are kind of
oh yeah,
because they're the only ones left.
Saturn is I'll turn this into an actual energy company, and then Mars and Jupiter, they're we're gonna go be
villainesses together. And then Sharon's actually on the head, we hate you, old man.
Yeah, they just went through a hardcore lesbian rebel phase, and they rocked it. I mean, come on, those outfits.
Yeah, because their leader got trapped in a hell dimension forever.
Right.
Gen 4 was
Oh man, if we're getting these remakes, I hope they give it the I hope they give us a Delta episode that.
Oh my god.
I know.
Could you imagine a Delta episode with Darkrai? If they fully fleshed that out?
And that's the thing, because you have, I think it would probably be, oh my god, it would be the Crown Tundra.
Yeah.
No spoilers, but Crown Tundra is just entirely here are some legendary Pokemon stories that you get to experience, and that's what...
What if it was Darkrai and then Shaman and then Arceus?
Because that's what you do in all the DLC, air quotes, all the mystery gifts, back when we called them that.
They were little stories.
Yeah, all of them.
I love the Shaman one so much. I love it so much.
Here's Professor Oak, and here's the longest straight path in any
you
Pokemon
have to
game.
write thank you on the rock. And then Shaman's you said thank you. Here I am.
God, those were so fun.
It was so good.
Darkrai sedating you and kidnapping you and
taking you to his islands, catch me please, I'm so alone.
Yeah. Oh, it's
This is the only way I can communicate.
And we will get to go to the Hall of Origin.
Please.
Right?
They made such a cool area, such a cool fight. The Azure Flute remains in their minds. I know it. Right now I think about Tajiri, and he's and he goes to bed thinking about the Azure Flute and thinking about the Hall of Origin. I know it.
This is a really hyper context based piece of the conversation. I love it. So one of the things, little kind of spoiler alert for those of you who haven't done Crown Tundra, but there's a pair of Pokemon who are suspiciously absent from the Crown Tundra.
Oh yeah.
Every fossil is roaming around as if it's
they're alive and well.
the Paleozoic version of 1995.
Ammonites we're lousy with Ammonites.
God, the sea looks so weird. Side note, I have a big fear of like open water,
Yeah.
and I absolutely have trouble traversing the oceans in games like that.
Mhm.
I did not think that the Avalugg would bother me as much as they do,
Oh.
but they bother me a lot.
I hate it.
And then so the Generation 4 fossils are suspiciously
Mm-hmm.
absent. Cranidos and Shieldon's families are just not
Rampardos,
here.
that's the thing.
What are we doing?
I
Where
kept wanting
are
to say
they?
Rampardos.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Which sounds like a Pokemon, but is not.
Several Pokemon all meshed together.
Rampardos! Yeah, they're just gone. They're just suspiciously absent. You know who else is suspiciously absent? Because almost all of the mythicals are back. We've got Victini, Meloetta, Keldeo, Mew, Celebi, Jirachi.
But we don't have...
Darkrai, Shaman, and Arceus.
Sinnoh confirmed. You heard it here first, folks, and by
Please.
first I mean like
Last.
yeah, dead last.
But first because it's our first episode.
I was also listening to somebody who was trying to make a bunch of points as to why we are being dropped hints that Sinnoh's confirmed, and honestly, all of the stuff he was saying was super obtuse, and all of the stuff that like literally all you need to know is that the Sinnoh mythicals and fossils and starters are not here. Like starters don't even really matter at that point, but those Pokemon being absent.
Starters do kind of matter.
Well, I mean, there are other starters who are also missing, so it's less of a fine point on it. But the fact that all the fossils are there, all the mythicals are there, minus Gen 4 is like pretty big. Like, hey, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Also, a lot of regular Gen 4 Pokemon and Gen 2 Pokemon, like the biggest dexes that are still missing after Crown Tundra has dropped are Johto and Sinnoh. And Johto and Sinnoh are intrinsically linked.
Because, half of the Sinnoh dex was let's fix the power
also,
scaling.
we got some Shinjo runes going on.
Again, completely forgot about that because I did not play those games.
Yep. But that's the thing. You take Arceus to a guy in the ruins of Alpha, and he's like, hey, somehow the ruins of Alpha kind of connect to Sinnoh. Let's go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're in Sinnoh. Hi, it's me, Cynthia. I found these weird ruins. Let's watch an egg happen. A thing that no one has ever seen.
Oh my god. That's
right. A thing that every breeder and daycare person in the whole series is like, we don't know what happened, but there's an egg. You watch it happen. You finally see what it's like when an egg happens in Pokemon. And what happens is the whole world flashes before your eyes.
all of creation.
The light of creation.
Jeez. Oh my god. No wonder Pokemon don't talk.
Yeah. They'd have a lot to say.
Dude, it was wild last night in the bedroom. Yeah, I'll bet it wasn't as wild as two Pokemon breeding. Because apparently all of the creation of existence flashes before their eyes every single time.
And then an egg happens.
I gotta say, my egg spawn rates do not match up with that timeline.
No, they don't. You know what? Maybe they're so used to it.
They're desensitized.
Ditto is immune. Ditto's eyes glaze over when he witnesses the birth, the euphoria of creation. He's just like, whatever, dude.
Goodness, what a weird little entire thing that is.
I love it so much, so that's why I want the remakes. I want them so bad.
So, Great Marsh would also probably not suck.
No,
because it would have to be their wild area.
Imagine if the underground was all online, like a wild area.
Oh, the underground.
Where you talk to people.
Oh, the underground.
Who are running around.
Oh, the underground.
Yeah, the whole Sinnoh underground becomes the wild area.
Right. Hey, half the population of Pokemon in general fell under the earth and they're just here now.
They're spawning out of dens.
Oh, that was one of the points that the guy I was watching made, was like the super duper raid den things all happen underground.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I guess that's a parallel you could make, but
yeah, But I just see the underground as an easy excuse for them to implement a wild area into a remake.
Oh god, a wild area that is also a labyrinth?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh no.
And well, the underground in Sinnoh has very wide hallways.
I mean,
But
sure.
what if you could put down traps?
Oh god. What if you could make somebody's already grindy adventure through a wild area to get the last thing they need to finish their gosh darned team was made even harder by the arbitration of random NPCs? I guess you could just not play online.
Yeah, just turn it off.
Oh yeah, I just solved my own problem.
Mm-hmm. But
I was
going
to make that out to be
But you
huge.
could go online and talk to people and get your Spiritomb and run into a bubble trap.
Oh man, talking to 108 people now would be a breeze.
Mm-hmm.
I remember me and my buddy straight up just both going out and into the underground 108 times.
So we could get our Spiritomb so we could breed them.
Yes, we could get our Spiritomb so us in high school could not know how to use it.
Yeah. I mean, I had a decent moveset on my high school Spiritomb. It's like Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball, Will-O-Wisp, Protect.
Alright. That's
alright.
better than I would think.
Yeah.
I just, I know a lot of, Generation 4 is where I started to understand competitive, but I was definitely still hyper offense. If you didn't have, a speed boosting or attack boosting move with a priority attack, I wasn't using it. I introduced competitive Pokemon to my social circle at that time. It was all thanks to that classic Scizor.
Yep.
Choice Band Technician, Bullet Punch Scizor.
That's all you needed.
Yeah, and then it kind of grew from there, and Gen 5 is where I really can say that I understood balanced meta, defensive, offensive, and stuff. So at that point, Spiritomb was too complex for me to try and use.
I was already Karening in Gen 4 when I was introducing it to my friends, because I introduced it to my friends and I'm like, I EV trained a Dunsparce.
Oh no.
I haven't, but it was the good moveset though.
Yeah.
It was Roost, Thunder Wave, Bite, and Rock Slide.
Right. So you could just dunk on all your friends.
Yeah, and I dunked on all my friends with Dunsparce, and they're like, how come he's so good?
So I'm going to tell you a big behind-the-scenes secret. So playing Pokemon Battle Revolution online is where I saw my first competitive Mono Poison team. And that is why,
that was the inspiration.
To this day, I bank on Mono Poison. Because watching my idiot friend struggle when he kept trying to switch to a Pokemon that could beat a Poison type, and they kept switching between Muck, who would try to set up, and then if there was a Ground type, it would be Crobat, and then if there was a Psychic type, it would be Skuntank.
Yeah, or Drapion.
Well, they use Skuntank specifically.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Just for the sake of the story, that was the team comp.
Yeah.
And to watch as my friend struggled to try and get his Torterra in at the right time and just got absolutely dunked on. It was so bizarre. I was like, wow, this is defensive gameplay.
Yeah.
And then the next several generations would work so hard to dismantle defensive gameplay as a play style.
But here we are in Generation 8.
Where we are in the worst environment for defensive gameplay.
Yet Toxapex thrives.
Yeah, how come Toxapex can get two-shotted by Vicious Rend?
You got a Baneful Bunker, and then you got to switch to your Amoonguss, who's back.
Right.
So it's okay.
Yeah, I know, and I'm going to get back on my nonsense.
Get back on your horse.
I'm going to use
your big bug horse.
Big bug horse, and then I've got Amoonguss and Toxapex, and now I've got Galarian Slowking.
And you've got Crobat and the Nidos.
Yeah, I guess all the homeboys except for Venomoth are back.
The gang's all here.
Gang's all here. Gengar still doesn't levitate.
No.
But we have a second Weezing.
We do have two Weezings.
And
two Toxtricities. Two of them.
But my point was that I now have access to 4 Pokemon with Regenerator.
Two slow guys, and then Amoonguss and Toxapex.
So I'm just going to set Toxic Spikes and then continue to switch out. I'm not using any PP, but we also have a 20-minute battle timer. So I circle back to defensive gameplay is kind of dead.
Yeah, that's the real reason why defensive gameplay isn't really supported anymore. It's not for lack of trying with the Pokemon, it's for lack of trying with funny 20-minute timer.
What was the point of that?
I don't understand. I don't understand when you can have Sandstorm and Grassy Surge and Poison, and that takes a minute.
God forbid they have held items that proc at the end of every turn too, or Speed Boost,
or anything.
Yeah.
Morpeko.
The
Like
yeah. Oh my god. The end of a turn could take 1 minute.
Yeah, the end of the turn. Not even the moves, which animations are mandatory in an online battle.
Sure, and now we have the Dynamax animation, which
Uh-huh.
takes a year and a half,
Mhm.
and
And
goodness.
max moves.
Max moves, and then all the effects that have to happen after them, and you get 20 minutes.
New abilities that take long animations. Cramorant spitting out a fish takes 30 seconds. Like,
I don't want to sit here and just be like,
and shrug at each other on an audio medium.
yeah, right. Which reminds me, I got really dolled up for this, and I forgot we were doing a podcast. So like, I'm here in my Donkey Kong tie with my Donkey Kong socks and my brown slacks and my brown dress shirt. And
Well, now everybody knows that you're very well dressed.
yes,
I'm just wearing like a horrible shirt.
I still don't know what Plastic Love is.
Yeah, I'll show you later.
Okay,
I'll go on a whole thing about it one time.
sure. Looking forward to it.
It'll be
Preview
one-
for.
It'll be one of the music segments.
So yeah, but I don't want to sit here and just like kvetch about Game
Yeah.
Freak, but like, boy, they continue to just show off. Is it thoughtlessness? Is it trolling? Is it?
My idea, because as much as I don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because they're a company with the largest IP in the fucking world, with infinite money, they literally have infinite money, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt, because I know that there are people who work there. Not robots, but there are people. What I think it is that I think they are constantly having to work on the new thing, which isn't out yet, and isn't going to be out yet. And I think they want to work on the new thing for 3 to 4 years. And they start working on it for 2 years, and then they're being told to finish it. And I think that's what happened with Sword and Shield. And I think that's what happened with the DLC. And I think that's hopefully what doesn't happen with the new games, whatever the new games are. Because I think after Sun and Moon, they made Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon to kind of bridge the gap between Sun and Moon and whatever the next games were. And then I think they're like, okay, the new thing is a console, is a console. We can finally make Pokemon on a console. We can make it huge, we can make it big, we can do all this stuff. Uh-oh, our models don't work. Uh-oh, okay, we have to make the models. Okay, we made the models. Okay, how much time is left? None. What? What do you mean there's no time? We didn't even finish the tree. Like,
Oh, yeah. No, I get that. Pokemon's biggest roadblock right now is that they are under such a stupid schedule.
yeah, like I think that the people who don't make Pokemon, who are at Game Freak, I wouldn't call them people. The CEOs, because they're not people.
Fair.
They're the robots from Toontown. Is that a
The
reference?
cogs?
Yeah, are the cogs at Game Freak.
Wow. Oh my
okay,
god.
I'm glad that you got that one.
Yeah.
The cogs at Game Freak are like, listen, Pokemon game every year, no matter what, keeps the money rolling. You cannot not have one. And so Game Freak's like, but making thing takes time. And the cogs are like, time doesn't exist.
We made it into a Pokemon. We can
made
control it.
Yeah, we made it into a Pokemon. He's like a big
Twice.
He's like a big dinosaur and also an onion fairy. Anyways, where's the game?
Yeah.
And so they have to make a lot of concessions all the time. And so because when I think about going through Sword and Shield, I see like the glimpses of like them trying their hardest to make a little memorable moment at little
Sure.
parts of the game. They're like, please remember this part of the game.
And there are like
Yeah.
in the swath of Doldrum, there are moments. There is Opal fixating over Bee.
Yeah, pink, and then Bee's like losing it.
There's Raihan's selfie animation. It's charming.
There's Leon's defeat animation.
Oh, with the hat.
With the hat and the point, like the cape.
He's so dignified.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I agree. I can see where they're trying, but
they what it is to me is that the cogs don't want them to take as long as they need to. Because game development doesn't take 2 years. I don't care who you are. Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that has taken 8 years and is still crunching. They're crunching those people to death. And that game has taken 8 years.
yeah.
Like, if we want the Pokemon game that I think that the people who make Pokemon want, like, I think we both want the same game, but they'll never have the time to make it. And I think it worked on handhelds because the scope was smaller.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I think a lot of what was working about Pokemon Simplicity gets lost in the jump to 3D bigger console games.
Because there's more expectation, and rightfully so. There's more power.
Yeah.
But they're never going to have the time to make it. Unless Game Freak allows there to be a year with no Pokemon game like there used to be. Like, 2007, there wasn't a Pokemon game. Or 2008.
You know, when there was a year without Santa Claus, we got a super cool ragtime jingle.
Yeah.
We could just have that.
When there was a year without a Pokemon game, we had fun at the Battle Factory for a year.
Right. We had a stupid, ridiculously hard post-game facility.
Yeah, we had Reggies to find.
Yeah, we had Braille to learn.
And a Sudowoodo to fight. And a bunch of Smeargle to catch. Like, and a weird Ditto cave. Like,
right? No, man. And if they,
but they're afraid.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I mean, I get in this world, it's easy to be afraid because if you don't make a game and you're on the public eye, a mobile game could just come and take your market share. It's possible. But I think Pokemon is the biggest IP in the world for a reason.
Yeah, dude, it's Pokemon.
Everybody has a fucking favorite Pokemon.
Who's going to be upset if there's a year without a Pokemon game?
No one. Who's going to forget about Pokemon if there's a year without a Pokemon game?
Absolutely nobody.
Nobody.
If we've learned anything, it's if there's a year without a Pokemon game, more people get into it.
Yeah, because they're hungry, and they'll play whatever's out. If they didn't buy Sword or Shield, or if they didn't buy Let's Go Pikachu yet, or if they haven't played Pokemon Go in a while.
Yeah, give people more time to pick up the game.
Yeah,
because with every year, it's like if you missed the beginning of the lifespan of a game, you might as well not get it. Yeah,
it's too late. If you didn't buy Sun and Moon in the first 6 months, you might as well not get it because Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are already coming out.
Right.
Like, I think there was less than a year between those two games.
It would have been November to November. Yeah. So,
like, almost less than a year. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, it used to take 2 years for the third version to come out. There was Ruby and Sapphire, and then 2 years, and then Fire Red and Leaf Green, and then 1 more year, and then Emerald. Like,
now that's a good time frame.
Yeah.
That's like, give everything a chance to breathe, give the developers a chance to make something.
Let me fall in love with Galar, because I had to spend a million years there. Like I fell in love with Hoenn.
Yeah, man. I explored every water tile in Hoenn. It didn't scare me as much because it was pixelated water.
And you never found Feebas, but that's here nor there.
As a kid, it was just neat. There was always something more to see.
There was a little secret base you could find, a little acrobike place to find, a water stone you didn't know was there. In Galar, there's no reason for me to go on the other routes. You know, they don't give us. With the Crown Tundra, I'm feeling it a little bit. I feel it a little bit.
I like this map a lot.
I feel a little bit of the pull. I feel a little bit of like, you know what? I feel like there's a place in this area of the Crown Tundra where I haven't been yet. And like, I haven't felt that in the entirety of Sword and Shield yet.
Yeah.
I even felt it in Sun and Moon. In Sun and Moon, there were a couple of areas where like, you know what? I don't think I've been in this whole place yet. Like in the lush jungle, I was like, have I been here? Like,
yeah, and I think in Sun and Moon you get a little bit of a tease of some of the areas with the trials, and you are invited to go back and explore.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, there wasn't much to see.
And also, it was a little limited because there was only so much landmass.
Yeah.
And you weren't allowed to mine Time Surf in the first one.
But I think that as weird as it was, I think that Generation 5 did a really good job.
They did an amazing job.
Because half of the map is post-game, and there's so much to see.
And there's a million areas that don't even matter.
Yeah.
There's like a whole swamp in the north. I forget which town it's near.
The
Opelucid Swamp.
The Moor of Icarus.
Yeah. What is that for?
You learn something about Keldeo there, I think.
That's it.
Yep.
Like, but it's a cool place.
There's the town with the old bridge that you don't even have to.
Village Bridge.
Yeah, you don't even have to go there.
With the expanding soundtrack.
Yes.
You reunite the musicians.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
It's just a town that gives you a fun experience.
It's not even a town because there's no Pokemon Center.
Right.
You can't fly there.
Oh yeah.
You have to go. I used to go there on purpose.
Yeah.
To hatch eggs. Because it was better than I like the music better than the Sky Arrow Bridge.
What music is on Sky Arrow Bridge?
It's bad. Like, comparatively, make areas that I want to go to despite how hard it is to get there.
I also like that spot because you can get a second set of leftovers in the trash.
In the trash. And there's a guy selling rare berries every day. Like, and it's the same team. And X and Y wanted to have it, and then it was rushed. There are 3 more power plants.
Yeah.
That we couldn't even go to.
There's so much left hanging in X and Y. I really hope that region gets justice someday.
Let me fall in love with Kalos.
Let me experience Zygarde's story.
Zygarde exists in our dreams.
Zygarde was on vacation in Alola. He couldn't be bothered to be a part of Generation 6.
He wanted to be a dog. He very much was tired of being a snake and wanted to be a dog.
Oh my goodness.
Man, if I could talk to Omori once, that's what I would say. I would say beg them to give you time. Because I don't want to tell them what to do. I want them to have the time to surprise me.
That's very fair.
I don't want to be like, make this one, put Minun in it. Right? Make this one.
Do you want Plusle too?
I don't care. Put Minun in it. And let me dress up my character.
Right.
No, I would be like, give them time because I know you guys can do it if you have time. I know they could. I bet James is working his fucking ass off.
Yeah, James Turner, boy. I mean, it's a blessing.
If I was gonna give them one instruction, like instead of just asking for them to ask for time, I would be like, let James do Ore again.
Do what?
Ore. Let James make another Ore game. James did the Ore games. Those were his first games.
Oh, Ore,
Yeah.
the region.
The region.
God.
Let him do Ore again.
Yes, but James is an okay creature designer, but
he's a better world designer.
Yeah. The Ore region is great. Sorry, I'm sitting here like Ore and the Blind Forest.
Yeah.
What? I'm so stupid.
There's a forest in Ore.
Agate Village. Yeah, dude. Oh, Pokemon Coliseum.
Let him have one.
The whole time, like an entire generation of Pokemon fans is dunking on James Turner for making an ice cream cone, and nobody knew that he was the reason we had the best Pokemon game ever made.
Yeah, everyone's like, I hate James Turner. He made the ice cream cone and the Ultra Beast, and James Turner also made Pokemon Coliseum and Mirror B, right?
Yeah.
Shut up.
He designed the single greatest NPC in all of Pokemon. Let James Turner bring Mirror B into the main series game.
Please. He belongs so... Okay. He belongs as, the antithesis to Looker. Because Looker is a guy who's, a well-intentioned man who is incompetent and helps you out in the post game, right? Mm-hmm. I want Mirror B to be a horrible influence to your character who is incompetent at the post game. I want the game to end and then you go somewhere and Mirror B is here. It's like, hey, little fella, you want to help me out with this job? I'll pay you handsomely. And then he gives you a weird Pokemon at the end of it.
Oh boy!
And what you do for him ends up being a crime.
That'd be something.
Jeez, man.
So, on the subject of James, though, I know you like the ice cream cone.
I like the ice cream cone.
But overall, what do you think of James as a creature designer?
I think James, as a creature designer, takes a lot from the Western tradition of mascot design, where it's either very recognizable and has a funny face, or a very weird alien that looks cool. And it's one of those two things. Because he made the Beasts, and then he made Ice Cream, and I think Bear Arctic.
I think he made... I want to say he made...
Garbodor,
and I think he made Vullaby, but not Mandibuzz?
Yeah, he made Vullaby.
There's some weird credits. He made a handful of Gen 5 stuff. I want to say he made the fossils too, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think he borrows a lot from the Western design tradition, which I think helps in a game that doesn't normally exist in that space. Because Pokemon isn't from the Western design tradition. It's very Japanese still. Like Sirfetch'd. Like, holy shit. And Galarian Farfetch'd. Like, but I like his designs a lot because he brings something to the table that none of the other Pokemon designers have.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
I think my biggest problem with that idea is that the Pokemon wind up as more characters than they do as wild animals.
That's true.
And that has always bothered me.
Yeah, and that is actually something that's kind of seeping more into the actual games. Is that this is a sentiment online that I see sometimes. I don't know if you've heard this. That Pokemon have jobs now.
Yeah.
Like every Pokemon has a job.
Yeah.
like Venusaur doesn't have a job. Venusaur's a guy. He's like a weird frog.
Venusaur is a part of a very considerably fleshed out ecological system in Pokemon, which is mind you, above and beyond the average Pokemon, even from the old days where it was a little more wild.
Because like we had episodes about the evolutionary traditions of the Venusaur.
Yeah.
And how like if a Bulbasaur didn't want to evolve, it was like shunned from the clan. Like,
right.
Because it didn't want to participate in the tradition.
And their design is very much a growth, a step-by-step growth, not like an adaptation or an evolution.
No, it's like this thing is getting bigger. The flower is getting bigger.
It just matures.
Yeah, it just gets older. But so Venusaur doesn't have a job. Venusaur is a creature that lives in the world. Same for Nidoking. Nidoking is a creature that lives in this world.
Nidoking is a rabbit with poison barbs that turns into a dinosaur.
Yeah, with rabbit-like features, big ears, buck teeth.
And he's a whatchamacarcus creature.
Yeah.
And that's not a fan term. That's something I ripped from The Simpsons.
Oh, I know that.
The Krusty Burger, the whatchamacarcus burger, and there's an episode centering around it. And at the end of the episode, Krusty goes, "The whatchamacarcus burger is no longer in production. The creature we used to make it out of is now extinct." And they're like, "Was it a dolphin?" And he's like, "No, and they were like, "Was it a panda?" And he's like, "No, think smaller, think more legs." And that's it. That's all they leave it at. So the whatchamacarcus has been like a thing that I use.
Rhydon does not have a job.
Right.
He's just a guy that lives in this world.
And even Rhyperior later, when the designs got a little more, I don't know what you would call it, bulky. Rhyperior is like an armored version of a Rhydon. It's a Rhydon that has not necessarily matured, but gone above and beyond in a way.
He bulked up. He got some armor because he was tired of dying and wanted to surf. He still does, but he's trying his best. But anyways, Tangrowth doesn't have a job. No. Tangrowth's just a weirdo.
Tangrowth is a caveman.
He's just a caveman.
Made out of
What
vines.
I want to know is where's the caveman? But Toxtricity has a job. Alchemy has a job. Poltegeist has a job. God.
And Toxtricity, I would dare say, is so close to being...
It's very close.
He's a whatchamacarcus creature, but he's also a guitarist.
Yeah, he's got a job. The only ones from Gen 8 that I can think of off the top of my head that don't have jobs are like Dubwool is just a ram.
Double's good.
Sizzlipede and Centiskorch are just bugs. Centiskorch does not have a job.
No. And I was getting a better look at centipedes, and those antennae really do flare out like a mustache.
Yeah.
It's neat. Yeah, no. Centiskorch, great idea, terrible name.
Yeah, bad name. It's the Talonflame name.
Yeah.
That rhymes.
But he also looks like a whole bunch of condoms, when they're in the package and they're all stuck together still.
But that's what a tapeworm looks like, and he's also kind of like a tapeworm.
Well, I mean, centipedes do look like that. Yeah,
so,
they're segmented.
Orbeetle has a job.
or Beetle's job as being the thing we were looking for at
Yeah.
Area 51.
Yeah, like a lot of the Gen 8 Pokemon have jobs. All the starters have jobs.
And that's been a thing since Generation 6.
I mean,
no.
not necessarily. I can see. God, what's the last Fennekin thing? Delphox. I can see Delphox existing. 'Cause
Sure.
it's kind of like this mysticism thing.
They're not pushing it too hard,
Yeah.
but they had a distinct
Inspiration.
design philosophy
Yeah.
with something. They were a dungeon crawling trio.
Yeah. The leftovers of the dungeon crawling trio.
Right.
But and then Gen 7 especially, they all have jobs. Like professional wrestler.
I cannot believe that every single house cat in all of Hawaii grows up to be a professional wrestler. That just bothers me so
Yeah.
much.
And I love Incineroar too.
I know, he's great.
Like,
and
he's
Smash has
great.
definitely helped that.
But he is a weird thing to live in this world normally.
Yeah.
Like.
And the other two, I mean,
they fit.
Primarina fares the best of the three, I'd say.
But it's still like, it's weird.
It's gaudy.
Yeah, and
There's plenty of gaudy Pokemon,
and
though.
Rowlet.
Primarina is like a water Jinx.
Yeah, it's Water Jinx. I didn't really connect with Primarina like I connected with Jinx.
Sure, and that's...
And Jinx is like weirdo Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like Jinx is like this weirdo thing that lives in the world. But I can't really see wild Primarina. There's kind of weird. Like it's just kind of like a thing. It's more of a character than an animal.
Sure. And then and Decidueye as well. I could see Decidueye and Primarina way better than Incineroar.
Yeah.
But they're all a little bit. I don't ever want to use the term over-designed
There's
because
a
what does that
reason
mean?
why the Rowlet that Ash catches in Alola didn't come from a Decidueye, because it would look weird if there was a wild Decidueye.
Just a Robin Hood owl hanging out.
He just lives in the wild. He doesn't live in a house.
Maybe I'm having a little bit even easier time with Decidueye as a wild creature because I literally got to watch Guardians of Gahul like last year.
Oh, okay.
Mind you, my brother had those books when we were little
No.
kids and he never read them.
Now, I'm about to be a huge hypocrite because I think Rowlet is a character, but I love Rowlet.
The bow tie is a weird thing for
But I
every
love
single little owl to have.
But I
but-
love him so much.
Sure. And that's
He's such
fine.
a little dipshit.
Because at the end of the day, Pokemon are merchandise above all
Yeah.
else, and I think that's the root of several of the problems.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's fine. That's fun. They're neat. The Marge. I just think they're neat.
Ah.
.jpg.
Holding up a picture of one Pokemon from each generation.
Yeah.
Like,
You could put every single Pokemon in that image one at
I
a
just
time.
think they're neat.
I think I straight up did see that with Dubwool with Wooloo at some point.
But I would say majority of them they follow this design, and I guess like it kind of makes sense as the natural progression of the series.
Sure.
Like I think as a series we've kind of filled out like the creatures that live in this world. Now we need characters that live in this world.
But I want more creatures because
too.
as an enthusiast of several real life creatures, it bothers
too.
me that when I see a cat, I can only choose from
A couple flavors of cat,
right, or God forbid, spiders, some of the most diverse creatures on the planet.
and we got none.
We've got 3, and of them, the most accurate is Galvantula.
I was looking at Trevenant when we were doing Mac Trades the other night. Trevenant has enough limbs to be a spider.
Thank you for that. I knew there was something I liked about him.
He's got 2 big arms and 6 little legs.
So he would probably have more in common with like an Amblypygid, the tailless whip scorpion.
Yeah.
That have like the big old claw arms and
Trevenant's just a weird spider.
Yeah. Oh, it originally bothered me a lot. Now, mind you, I got into arachnology very recently, and when Generation 5 was out, I was still terribly arachnophobic. But it always bothered me that a tick turned into a tarantula.
Yeah.
But ticks and mites are arachnids. They're actually very closely
okay.
related to spiders.
So that's actually pretty smart.
So it's a good name.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty smart then. I also like that he's a tick and he just like drains batteries.
Yeah.
Like
No, Joltik. I think Joltik was the Wooloo of his time.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
And And like, I guess the other design thing is that a lot of the old creatures didn't need to be marketable. A lot of them they never got merchandise.
Yeah, and to this day,
Who was buying Hypno stuff? Nobody.
Oh, that didn't stop them from putting out that weird shirt a couple of years ago.
That was the only thing, but like that was also a couple of years ago, and not when the thing started.
Right.
Like no one's buying.
Well, when there was 150 Pokemon, there was merch of everybody.
Yeah, there was a Lickitung coin. Like
I had a Lickitung zipper plushie where you turn it inside out and it's a Pokeball.
Okay, so they did actually do
that. Was one of my first Pokemon pieces of merch
thing.
ever.
Okay,
was a
yeah.
Lickitung.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, every Pokemon still gets like one thing. Still, they get a little finger puppet or they get a plushie. Or
They're
something.
standardized. Like now we have the Sitting Cuties, so
Yeah.
everyone's gonna have a uniform plush.
I hope so. They haven't done Gen 3 yet, and it's been like 3 years.
Ooh, maybe they didn't make as much money as they
I
thought.
know they did.
Okay.
I think they maybe just got halted because of Sword and Shield production. And now, because the characters of Sword and Shield, like the humans, are very popular, they're like, shit, we need to make Raihan plushies. Stop all production of all other plushies. We have to make Raihan plushies.
Oh, that's right. They're making plushies of the people.
Mhm.
And I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
And Ken Sugimori himself was like, look, I have all these people I made too. Can we make something about
Yeah.
them? And then we got a neat mobile game that I
Yeah.
stopped playing after a month, but it was cool.
And they updated it with sex.
Yes, Pokemon Master Sex. My favorite misuse of hashtags or whatever.
Yeah.
Maladapted
They
hashtag.
did update it with sex.
God. Well, there
Well, and
have
making-
been fan updates of sexy
Well,
Pokemon
that's
since.
true. But they also made plushies of Sugimori art. Like they made Rosa and they made I don't think they made Black.
Oh yeah. That plushie list is like really random.
Yeah.
They made Rosa, but not Hilda.
And they made the Subway Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most
They're
fans are going to be
they're
like,
getting
who?
they're getting a lot more screen time lately for some reason.
Yeah.
Like their full art Pokemon card was fairly recent.
Wait, what?
Yes. It did not I don't have it. But
You see me looking
yeah.
around your room for
no,
it.
I don't have it.
I don't know why I assumed you
I
did.
think I'm gonna grab it though. It's only like $5.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, like it was fairly recent. It wasn't during the black and white era. There was no Ingo and Emmett card in black and white, but there was one recently. And then they were in the music video.
Oh, the new music video that dropped, yeah.
And then they got new plushies.
God, I have friends from way back when who had like planned to cosplay them because they were twin brothers, and they just never got it together.
I saw online that people were like obsessed with them.
They were like the characters with the weird following.
I didn't understand it. I'm like, did Hetalia fans latch onto them or something?
Yeah, right.
Like, it seems like it.
You either get it or you don't. But that happens all the time in fandom. It's just every once in a while we'll dip even deeper into the weird obscure. Like the Subway bosses aren't characters that casual players would even encounter.
No, but someone sees them in a guidebook. It's like, wow, they look so cool. They're brothers.
And one of them has a weird smile, and the other has a weird frown, and they look like not quite fitting in with this world, and then their dialogue is weird.
Like,
are they foreigners? Are they...
They're just weirdos.
I think Black Adventures interprets them as being German.
Yeah, they're German.
Ja, wir sind Subway Masters.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Black Adventures.
You want to talk about fan patches to the lore.
The best fan patch they've ever done.
Man. So there's something I have noticed is that most of the prevalent Pokemon fan comics are like, they're all Western. With the exception of Dating a Team Magma Grunt, every major Pokemon fan comic is Western.
Yeah.
I don't really know if there's a reason for that, or if maybe I'm just
We might be
ignorant.
because you would need to search Pixiv, which is hard to do.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess that could just be my Western perspective.
Yeah, like I bet we could do a research episode and find some stuff.
Well, I mean, that would be fun. We get a couple of episodes in, we say a lot of wrong stuff. We go back, we do lots of channels do patch note episodes.
Yeah, we could do patch notes. I'm a big proponent of patch notes.
For sure.
Donkey Kong's aerial moves have been updated.
Good. I'm glad you bring up that specifically.
We've updated the information about Japanese Pokemon fan comics.
Yeah, there you
Oh
go.
yeah, how did you update it? We've updated the information. But yeah, like Pixiv is a little obtuse to search, so
Okay.
there might be some. There also might be like if I Google it, like there might be a fan community that's trying to translate them or something. I have no clue.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I would be willing to bet there's more out there that we don't know about, but still, like even on the Western end of things, I think it's astounding that we have as many long running Pokemon fan comics that are as of good quality as they are.
I have another idea as to why there might not be a lot of Japanese ones. They get Pokemon Special.
So I thought about that briefly, but look at fan work in general for things that people have regular access to.
But Pokemon Special is a fan work.
Oh god, it is. Oh god, it is.
It's not a retelling. It's a fan work. It's Pokemon Special is the patch notes to the game.
That's true.
It's already the fan work. So whenever I think a Japanese fan wants to make a fan work,
this is my original character, Yellow.
They're fighting against Pokemon Special,
which
is already retelling the game in a better way.
Right.
So here's my original character, Emerald. He doesn't catch Pokemon. He also has false limbs. He was Peridot 10 years before Peridot.
Oh no! And they're both green.
They're both green and obnoxious and have yellow hair.
Whoa, okay, you need to slow down. Alright, now speed up again. That was rad.
Wow, I just pulled that out of thin air.
Yeah,
Swish.
I know, because I don't think anybody else has ever drawn that, because I don't think there's an overlap of people who know a dick about Pokemon Special and people who are into Steven Universe.
Woohoo!
Wow, alright.
Emerald having false limbs is the weirdest thing.
God,
It's the weirdest thing.
They were like, you'll get to design original characters, and so the artist was just like, oh boy, I am gonna ruin this guy.
They did a pretty good job with Yellow.
Yeah, Yellow is great.
She's a fisher girl who loves cute animals, and her Caterpie doesn't evolve until the last fight.
That's such a good scene, though.
And
That's
Double
such a good
evolves
scene.
Immediately.
Well, I mean, you protect your trainer from whatever that was that
Zapvolcuno.
Yeah, she just holds it up like a shield. That's got to be worth some experience points, right?
A little bit.
So,
God, Yellow's the best.
Yellow is such a good character, and we had an opportunity to get her in the game, so we're just not gonna.
She could have been in Let's Go.
Could have been in Let's Go.
We got Green. That's a start.
Yep.
Here's the first time she's ever been in a game.
Oh God, that's true.
20 years. The first time the girl that Sugimori designed was in a game. That art was before the games came out.
I know, I've seen it. It's such legendary lore, dude. And then she's so big in the manga.
She's huge. She's one of the biggest characters.
She's one of the biggest divergent things from the game,
Dex
too.
Holders. Like, oh my god. And then she's finally in a game. And she's just as weird as she is in the manga.
Great, I'm so happy to hear that. I guess technically Let's Go is the other air quotes main series that I haven't played.
Let's Go, she tries to catch you because she thinks you're a Pokemon. She throws Pokeballs at you.
Oh.
And you can pick them up after she leaves.
What?
They're on the ground. Because she threw them at you and they didn't work. Like, you find her in Cerulean Cave looking for Mewtwo.
Oh.
And she's like, I don't know what Mewtwo looks like. Are you Mewtwo?
Oh!
Boom, boom, boom.
That's so cool. I love that she's a weirdo, but it bothers me that she's a weirdo because of, like, intense trauma.
Yeah. She's a weirdo because a lot of shit happened to her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But she overcomes a lot of it in the manga.
Does.
I mean, ornithophobia is some stuff to have to overcome, especially when your first memories are being kidnapped by birds.
Yes. And especially when everyone else in the manga's main way of transportation is, hey, I'm going to get on my big flying thing.
And that would explain why she chooses to fly on a Jigglypuff.
Yes. Because it's not a big
Because it's
bird.
not a bird. Oh, wow. That's so good. Wow. That's subtle. That's subtlety that we don't deserve from Pokemon.
We don't deserve Pokemon Special. We don't deserve Pokemon Special's interpretation of Lily.
I haven't gotten that far. I have been stuck on the Emerald chapter since high school. It's so boring.
Do you want me to spoil it?
I mean, okay, so I finally finished it, and I'm at the beginning of Diamond and Pearl, but
Oh no, I don't want to spoil it. Diamond and Pearl's so good.
Yeah, I hear that.
I love Dia so much. Dia is my favorite Pokemon special character.
Like
Yes.
the protagonist boy?
Yes.
Oh.
Because he's a comedian with a Minun.
Oh no. Oh god, oh no. That's just your character.
He's me!
Wow. Alright. I mean, I guess it's on my list, but like...
He's also the character trope of doesn't try until needs to, and then he gets the serious face, and he tries really hard.
Oh, a Vash the Stampede
he's
type.
a Vash the Stampede.
Oh no.
One of my favorite character tropes.
Okay,
Where
fine.
I'm walking around the desert, dancing, talking about donuts, and then Wolfwood shows up, and my face turns all sharp.
That's such a ridiculous scene. Trigun is such a ridiculous anime. And I hear the manga's even more ridiculous.
Now imagine if Vash the Stampede, instead of being a gunslinger, was a comedian and had a Minun.
Okay.
Not a Plusle, just a Minun.
Just a Minun. Does Pearl have a Plusle?
No.
Does Platina have
No. It's just a Minun.
You know who he needs to team up with? Duking.
Yes. Is there a Coliseum manga?
Yes. It is one of the most elusive pieces of Pokemon media. There are, like, Bulbapedia has pictures of the, like, I've seen Manga Mirror B.
Okay.
But the manga is, as far as I have searched, and mind you, this is back in high school when I was doing Pokemon manga as, like, my main focus.
Yeah.
It was super hard to come by. I don't know, and I think it was only in like a magazine. Yeah, it's one of those. So the Colosseum manga, I'm sure that somewhere there's gotta be a copy on the internet. I haven't looked in ages, but at the time it was not accessible.
Because I want to see what that's like.
Yeah. And if I understand correctly, I don't think it's a complete story. It might have been a manga that was like an advertisement.
Yeah, like they do like the first couple of parts of the story.
Yeah.
Wes comes out, he finds Rui, they fight the guy with the furret, who has a really cool design. Kane,
yes.
And he has such a cool design.
Kale.
Yeah, Kale. And he's got such a cool design.
Kale would have been Kale is kind of the rival in that game, right?
But you only fight him once.
You fight him twice. Maybe. No, you can rematch him.
You can rematch him. You can rematch everybody in Pyrite Town.
Right.
That's the rematch town. That's where you go when you catch a new shadow Pokemon.
Good old Pyrite Town. Oh, man. God.
It's so... Oh.
So, actually, while we're on the subject of Pokemon manga, on top of the Pokemon Special, which is the continuous series, they do always put out a standalone manga for that generation. And so...
and those are also fanfictions.
They're also... Yes, some of them divert really heavily.
Like Black and White.
Oh, yeah, because that was Digimon Season 4.
Yeah, Reburst.
Oh god, Reburst.
And even Diamond and Pearl. With that weird galactic grunt.
With the big butt. Yeah, no, Diamond and Pearl Adventure, though, I started reading it because the end goal is to acquire Regigigas.
Yeah.
And he's my favorite legendary, so I was all about it. And I got a little bit in, and I was like, this is cool, but I was also sitting at a bookstore, and I wasn't going to have that opportunity every day.
I gotta buy this.
Yeah.
If I want to keep reading this.
And so it was... It fell by the wayside. I started reading Pokemon Reburst as well because I was super hyped for it. And I knew nobody else was going to like it.
And then it didn't end up being that great.
I didn't get that far in it, so...
It doesn't really maintain its luster.
That's a bummer. Yeah. But every once in a while, like, I'll go sifting through Bulbapedia, I'll go looking into it, and it's like, oh yeah, there was a standalone Sun and Moon manga with this, like, super Yu-Gi-Oh! Looking main character. Mm-hmm. And it's like... Oh...
Special Sun and Moon Guzma is so good.
I've heard.
He's so good.
You know who has been filling me in briefly on special stuff. And it's just I do want to keep up, but it's so much that I have to catch up with. I have to catch up with literally more than half of the series now.
You know what? I would just skim as much as I love Dia, I would just skim Diamond Pearl Platinum because it's a really simple story comparatively.
I guess.
Like they leave behind, the trilogy of the Dex holders after Emerald, with Mewtwo and the Deoxys and the Stone. Yeah. They leave all that behind. They go to Sinnoh. It's like a pretty simple story. It's an escort mission. The whole thing is an escort mission, and then they do it, and it's over.
All right. I mean, I'm sure it's still fun.
It's fun.
I like Sinnoh. I like Generation 4.
And it's fun because it breaks the pacing. Instead of a journey to catch Pokemon and become the champion, it's an escort mission. So
and they happen to get badges and shit on the way?
Yeah, because it makes it easier for them to travel.
Oh, yes. That's cool.
Yeah. So, because Dia, Platinum, Platina, I don't remember what she goes by.
I think she's Platina. I think it's Platina. They get rid of the M at the end.
Yeah, Platina hires Pearl and Dia to escort her to the end of the Sinnoh region.
How late into Generation 4 did that manga come out that she's in it from that early?
Really early. They planned it.
Oh.
They planned it.
That's right. That's the generation where they
future-proofed it.
Yeah.
They were ahead of time. They were like, the Diamond and Pearl are like betas. Please understand. We're working with new technology. Diamond and Pearl are betas. Please understand. We had to release the beta.
God, is it ever. Games are so shallow.
I gotta surf from here to here. 5 minutes later. I will hit Blissey with this fighting type move. 5 minutes later.
Saving a lot of data. But that persisted through all of Generation 4. And that was the happiest moment of Generation 5 was booting up the PC and not having to...
Or hitting a Blissey and it not taking 5 minutes.
Well, fortunately, it's not a very common Pokemon.
Yeah, but in Diamond Pearl Platinum, everybody's using a Blissey. I'm going to go online, hit a Blissey with a fighting type attack. I mean, I might as well just go get a snack.
Oh yeah, in the competitive, right. Because that was Skarmbliss's generation.
Skarmbliss. Could you imagine Eviolite in Generation 4?
Oh boy. Oh yikes. I still stand by my conviction that Generation 4 competitive was the most balanced meta. It was just centralized around Garchomp.
Don't take your word for it. Don't take your own word for it. There's like a very popular YouTube series, the False Swipe Gaming.
Oh, False Swipe. Yeah. I've seen some of their stuff.
They contend almost every video that they do a Pokemon that exists in Gen 4. They're like, Gen 4 was the best meta.
Oh, okay.
Every single time.
Oh.
Because it was the most balanced. Like, there were only like 2 Pokemon that broke the meta, and so they kicked them out. I think it was like Salamence and Garchomp. Salamence and Garchomp, and like they were too strong. They were 2 brothers. And they kicked them out, and then the meta was healthy.
Huh.
You could use literally almost anything you wanted in Gen 4 and it would have a niche. Like,
wow. Imagine that now, right?
Imagine Seeking having a niche.
No. That's pushing it.
I like Seeking.
I know. He has Lightning Rod and is a water type.
He's got a cool meme from 20 years ago.
Yeah! That's...
that has no basis in anything.
Right. That's a completely contextless meme.
It's a contextless meme. My favorite kind of meme.
Sure. It was Dat Boy, but with an actual character in it.
But with a Seeking.
Yeah. I remember the Know Your Memes page was just like, it's just a picture of Seeking destroying stuff with the caption. Like, yeah.
You got it one.
Maybe it was meant to be like, maybe it was meant to be revenge for Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, maybe. Because it's like, oh no, Goldeen. Fuck yeah, Seeking.
I never understood why it was Goldeen. Why was it not Magikarp?
The Goldeen was smaller. That's my only reasoning.
Okay.
Magikarp's kind of big.
It doesn't have to be.
Sakurai's
Ridley's kind of big.
You know Sakurai's a stickler for details. He only did Ridley because they held him at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Sakurai went through the game every level so that Steve could mine wool, even though it doesn't do anything because it counts as wood.
I think Ridley is the reason why we have Steve.
Yeah.
Ridley was like, all right, Sakurai, no more excuses. You said you couldn't do him, and he's here. You can do whatever we tell you to.
Yeah, it's
now.
like you did Ridley. I did Ridley because you held me at gunpoint. Yeah, but you did Ridley, so now you're gonna do Steve. Right. And holds up 2 guns. He's like, I'm on it. I'll get the wool. I'll get the wool. I'll put zombie in too.
And now there's a Slender Man reference in Smash Brothers. As if having the funny skeleton wasn't bad enough.
How far we've come. Funny skeleton, Slender Man. It's only a matter of time before 5 Nights at Freddy's.
No, don't say that. Don't shrug either.
I'm shrugging on an audio podcast.
I know, and I'm calling you out for it. God, okay. What were we talking about?
We're talking about Pokemon Special.
Pokemon Special. Pokemon manga in general.
About how there's not a lot of Pokemon or Japanese Pokemon comics because they have to combat Pokemon Special.
Yes.
And the other Pokemon manga that come out.
That's very fair. Because, like, yeah, we have Pokemon Special. We have the other Pokemon
but they're
manga.
not nearly as prevalent.
Or marketed.
Yeah.
Or available.
I've never seen an ad for Pokemon Special outside of the old Pokemon ads when it was first new.
So, fun fact, I actually had, back when they were doing this absurd thing, and they were releasing individual chapters of manga as American paperback floppy big comic book
Did
format.
you have Electric Tail of Pikachu?
I had some Electric Tail of Pikachu, but I also did have a couple of Pokemon Special chapters.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did that for Special.
Yep. Because I distinctly remember the scene where Agatha unearths the gym badge magnet thing. And I'm like, what is this about? Yeah. Well, no, because it was the thing you put the gym badges in.
Oh.
And it does the something.
It fuses the birds.
Yeah, I remember seeing advertisements for like Usagi no Jimbo and all sorts of other weird obscure Japanese stuff that I still don't know what it is. There were like Tenchi Muyo ads in there.
Oh, that's classic.
So other did you have the old Pokemon VHSs?
Yes.
And did you ever let them go and then you had the advertisements at the end?
Yes, I did.
For like super weird anime?
Because Viz was like, we can use this to advertise whatever we want.
Yeah. And to this day, like the memories of like watching those still like bring back weird unnerving feelings.
It's scary. I have this. Someone finally understands. Wasn't it scary when Adult Swim showed anime? Not like fearful, but it was this feeling of like I shouldn't be watching this.
Yes. Why did we feel like we shouldn't? Yeah, that's the same feeling I got from the ads at the end of the Pokemon VHS.
Like I'm like I shouldn't be watching this. Like this feels weird. I was a little afraid. Like I wasn't literally afraid. Like I'm afraid of like a jump scare or anything. I was more afraid of like being caught.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that
Same
feeling?
Same brain.
What is that feeling? Because I can even remember like little quotes and snippets from the ends of those advertisements, and it's like, what would I say to somebody if they walked in? Like obviously, I could explain like it's just advertisements at the end of the Pokemon tape, but my 8-year-old brain was like, I
couldn't have been able to explain it.
Yeah,
because I didn't even understand what I was seeing.
Why is there a sad anime boy looking at a Victorian painting with weird lighting and
with
there's
weird music going on,
with weird music and weird narration?
Yeah,
like it's a love story? Question mark. Oh god,
because this was anime not for our age. That's
right.
why.
Oh
it
god,
was. It was anime for like teenagers, and we were very not teenagers, and so we were like, I can't really comprehend what I'm seeing right now.
It was like
it's not an action show, and it's not like a kids show. And why is it animated? Like
it was our first exposure to media that wasn't meant for us, and we would have not seen in pop culture yet.
Yeah, so it was kind of like, groundbreaking.
I knew the X-Files wasn't for me, and my parents watched the X-Files, but my parents didn't watch Usagi no Jimbo.
Yeah, or Oh My Goddess, or whatever. Like, yeah, it was a little scary. And, like, I remember when I was, like, I have a really vivid memory of, like, being 9 and, like, falling asleep on the couch playing Pokemon. And I woke up at, like, 4 in the morning. It was, like like it was summer, so the sun was starting to kind of come up because it was 4 in the morning in the summer. And I'm like, I'm gonna turn on the TV, and I turn on the TV, and it was Yu Yu Hakusho, and I was like, what is this? I'm like, I looked around in my hallway, and I'm like, can I watch this?
That's
like,
a rough one too.
Like, I'm like, why? What's going on? Like,
that just looks like you're not supposed. Like,
yeah.
As a kid, like, there's something about the art style that's especially
it's like a
rough.
harmless ass shonen show. Like,
it's gorier.
Yeah, but
it's
like,
much more violent.
I would still say that it's fairly harmless regardless, because as gory as it is, the source material is goofy.
True.
Like, Kuwabaro's a big goofball. Yusuke Urameshi's a big goofball. Like,
but the whole thing takes place in like the afterlife,
in hell,
and at that
like,
point, our 8-year-old understanding was like the typical Christian propaganda we'd hear on the playground.
Yeah.
From like indoctrinated
and I was
families.
watching Pokemon, which nothing died in Pokemon. Like, I didn't watch shows where things died in them. Like, so yeah, it was, but it felt scary.
Yeah.
And so I share this memory with you.
as you are the only one who can. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you get it, so I don't have to try harder to describe it, because boy.
I get it. I hope the audience also gets it.
Right, yeah.
There might be one person who gets this. If you get this, thank you.
And also tell us why in the
I'll set up an email.
Okay.
The email will be it's still coolcast@gmail.com. That's it's still coolcast. That's going to be 2 S's next to each other. It's still coolcast@gmail.com. Demons souls. No, email us with your shared memory of watching something and it feels like you shouldn't be watching it, even though it's completely fine for you to watch it.
Does that, all right, bear with me on this one. Does that topic mean that this is technically our Halloween episode?
Yes. I was thinking of calling this episode Afraid of Ads.
There you go. Hell, we're still afraid of ads.
I am still afraid of ads. Well, that's going to do it for us.
Yeah.
I think we've talked your guys' ears off long enough.
We started with Sonic, jumped right into Pokemon, and then got stuck there.
And then we kind of pulled it out with like a weird, scary memory.
Yeah. So join us next time where we follow probably a similar formula.
More or less. I've been Tony.
And I have been Jesse, and will continue to be Jesse next time.
And this is still cool. That's it.
Now I can eat my churro.
Finally.